That's right, Mary. The fireplace is there. Yeah. Hey there, rock and rollers. Today, you're watching something new. So, Peter was asking me the other day, who's your favorite YouTuber? Because YouTubers are all the rage with today's kids. And I thought about it and probably Rick Beato. And one of Rick Beato's things is the What Makes This Song Great series. Where he'll take a song like More Than a Feeling and analyze what's so great about it. And I know there are other people on YouTube that do like What Makes This Song Suck, where they'll take Beverly Hills by Weezer or some other awful song like that and talk about what makes it as bad as it is. I don't want to do either of these things because there are some songs that are somewhere. If you got, your sucks and you got your rocks, they're somewhere in the middle. They got elements of suck and some elements of rock. You can think of plenty of songs like this. The one I'm doing today, Head Over Feet by Alanis Morissette. Let's get started with that, okay? Here we go. Okay.
I had no choice but to hear you.
So first of all, that gets going with a bang. Vocals right from the beginning. That gorgeous melody and that guitar tone out of this world. Sounds like a Gibson. Sounds like, if not a Gibson, some sort of humbucking equipped thing. Could be a Gretsch or something for all I know. But just a little bit crunchy. Just a little crunchy. Perfect tone. If I could dial in that exact tone, I would use head over feet tone on everything. And kind of hard to hear, but there's some ethereal synthesizer noise in the background. Let's keep going.
You stayed in your case.
Mary thinks it needs drums. It does have a hi-hat, programmed hi-hat going so far, by the way. Bass. And then the drums come in. The drums, by the way, definitely programmed drums, and that is the programmed James Brown Funky Drummer beat, which is like the beat for the whole Jack Little Pill album for the most part. Same beat comes up in You Ought to Know, and the first song on the album, and just all over the place. And the Funky Drummer beat was impossible to avoid then. Rap music all had it. Justify My Love had it, just the, Public Enemy used it, LL Cool J used it, just, a sample of the James Brown Funky Drummer thing. And that is not a sample of it. It is that beat programmed into a drum machine. So, here we go. It continues. Here's the other thing you may not notice. There is thick, fuzzy synth bass in this song. Now the chorus. Beautiful chorus. Hi, Mary. And then like a great melody soars even higher with I couldn't help it, it's all your fault. And this is a song that actually plays well to Alanis' voice. So, hi, Mary. Now, when Friday by Rebecca Black had its moment in the sun, people referred to Rebecca Black's alluring anti-charisma. And I think that is actually a lot of Alanis Morissette's shtick. Is she has this abrasive, annoying ex-girlfriend quality that somehow worked. But that song actually, her voice isn't grating or anything too much. It just works with the song. So let's keep going here. Okay, second verse. Yes, we did listen to this in the car, Mary. Okay, something I might have not noticed in the previous chorus, or maybe it just started in the second chorus. I don't know. I'm not going back to the first, but the drums change. So you got your clearly drum machine drums in the verses, and then there are these drums that I think are supposed to have a real drum sound, but I don't think those are real drums. They might be performed by a drummer. They might be like triggers or an electronic drum set or drum replacement or something like that, but a lot of drums are like that in the 90s. Like, you listen to them and drums don't sound like that. Like, I know in the Rage Against the Machine records, the snare drum sound is like a triggered thing where the attack of the real snare drum is mixed with some white noise and samples. And, like, people think of the 90s as being authentic rock and roll times and stuff, but 90s drums were fake as hell. And, like, I'm listening to Insomniac by Green Day, my favorite Green Day album. The drums on that album, too, I gotta say, don't sound anything like real drums. They're at the very least heavily processed, but probably some kind of drum replacement or something. Drummer on this album, by the way, probably not Taylor Hawkins. Taylor Hawkins was Alanis Morissette's touring drummer, but I don't think that he played on the record. Could be wrong about that. There's fire in the fireplace, huh? Okay. Now this is weird. After the second chorus, going into just another verse. Like, in a song, you kind of expect something different to happen after the second chorus. You're expecting, like, middle H, a bridge, a solo, but nope. Another verse. What do you know?
Thanks for your patience.
And now, this horrible harmonica solo. Does this song need some crash cymbal, Mary? Milk in the oven, huh? That is a truly horrible harmonica solo. I mean, that's clearly just, you know, Alanis blowing randomly into the harmonica and not even trying to make music with it. But, like, they could have at least edited a few takes together to make it sound better or something. Like, that's awful. How did that make it into a hit song? And now more verse. So it's gone, like, verse, harmonica solo, more verse. It's a little different. Best friend with benefits. It was the 90s.
I've never felt
How is like a fire?
Oh. I gotta say,
Fire makes you die.
doesn't, like, Africa have a second verse that's way longer than the first verse or something? This is weird. It's got a third verse that's way longer than the first or second verses and has a harmonica solo in the middle of it.
this healthy before. I've never.
Do you like this song, Mary?
Something rational.
No.
How long is this verse? Interesting song structure there. Oh, everything drops out to just acoustic guitar and singing. There's that chorus again. What, Mary? What white button, Mary? The white button for taking pictures? I'm not sure. Where's this white button you talk about, Mary? Okay, chorus repeating. On the screen? What, this one here? That's the button that's going to make the video stop. We're done with the video, Mary. There's that harmonica again. And now random vocal stylings that are not pleasant. So there's part of the chorus there. So that's kind of weird. I mean, that's kind of like, it's a great song, but then it ends on a real low note. It kind of ends on a like, okay, I'm glad that song is over now, because now Alanis is doing her weird thing and there's harmonica in there and it just kind of fades out, and it's kind of like, okay, that song has kind of overstayed its welcome. But there's a lot of good going on in that song. And I gotta say, Alanis Morissette was heavily criticized when she was blowing up the charts and stuff because she was some kind of child actress or something, which a few years earlier wouldn't have been a big deal. A few years later would not have been a big deal. Like a few years earlier, like Martika with Like Toy Soldiers, you know, she was some child actress. And then, later, a few years later, we got Britney Spears and Fergie and all sorts of people who come from that background. But there was this weird kind of period in the early to mid 90s when Hi Mary, when authenticity was the big thing, and you had to be a high school dropout who lived on the streets and stuff, and then you were the real deal. Hi Maradoodle. And so it's still kind of debatable whether or not Alanis Morissette should have risen to fame and stuff, but that song's kind of bangers. And it's not just that one, like, Ironic and a few others, she had something going. I mean, there was a reason why people bought Jagged Little Pill, and there were a reason why people related to it and such. Okay? And maybe it's that endearing anti-charisma thing. But part of it is, great melodies, good songs like that with crunchy sounding guitars, thick synth bass, and, programmed throughout. I mean, it worked. It was a formula for success. All right, there you have it. Head over feet.